So let me get this straight. First, the police in Idaho reach out for help from the citizens. Now the police chief is threatening legal action against the citizens. Now, I'm not one of you anti-police, defund the police type of motherfuckers, right? I'm just not. In fact, I'm very pro-police. I think we need more law enforcement. I think we need better people within law enforcement. So I'm not anti-police at all. But to the Idaho police chief, go fuck yourself. I'm JBgunner. This is Crime Time with JBgunner. Let's go ahead and get into some of this because we're going to talk about this police chief threat to other people while simultaneously asking us for help. We're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about some of your comments. We're going to talk about other developments in this case. We will be live tonight, by the way, at 8 p.m. where I will sort through some of your comments, some of the theories, some of all of that. You guys can join us tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Let's just go ahead and get right into it. Let's do it.
Bring it back.
What's going on, everybody? As you guys know, I'm JBgunner, and this is Crime Time with JBgunner. Guys, before we get started, I want to say first and foremost, thank you to everybody that supports all of my channels, all of my work. Truth is, guys, I couldn't do this each and every day as often as I do without you, the Gun Squad. And if you too find my content valuable, feel free to hit the links down below. Support the channel. Elon Musk, you suspended my Twitter for having a gender debate. I don't even know what to say. But anyway, I'll create a new one. Don't worry about that, guys. I can't even believe that happened, right? I can believe it. It's 2022, and it's just, you can't say shit anymore. Let's just call it what it is. But guys, if you would, follow me on them other platforms just in case they take me down, suspend me, anything like this. And guys, some of you new people, I want to say welcome to all the new people here. It's always cute. Like when I see some of y'all think I'm a new YouTuber, I think it's adorable. I do. Yeah, yes. The brand new YouTuber goes and gets the absolute most expensive studio equipment one can have. Yeah, makes sense, right? Anyways, but it's really funny because some of your comments make me chuckle. Before we get into this, I just kind of want to elaborate on that a little bit here because ultimately we've had great growth on this channel, and I do want to say thank you to every last one of you. But sometimes we get some goobers, and I'm going to show you guys just real quick, and because there's some of you guys that make some goofy comments, and I just want to say this going forward, okay? Last night, as you guys know, it was Friday night. I had a drink with you as I did a 10-minute video. S. Johnson says, "Are you seriously drinking on air like that? Most unprofessional thing I've ever seen. I'm done with your bullshit." First of all, let me make this clear to you, S. Johnson. Bitch, you just got here. I don't care what you think, and I think it's weird that you're checking the glass and seeing what another man is drinking on a Friday night on his show. I think it's weird, and I think it's weird that you consider me a professional. I'm just a fat dude sitting at home giving his opinion on the internet. That's all I am, just a dude complaining on the internet, giving his opinion. Do I look like Tucker Carlson? Do I look like Anderson Cooper? Well, no, I'm not gay, so I'm not Anderson Cooper. But the point of this is do I look like any of these people? Am I in a suit and tie? Motherfucker, I'm in a beanie and sunglasses. Anyway, forget that. Let's get to the actual reason for the video, because some of these people trip me out. Just some of these people trip me out, especially the police chief in Idaho. Cops who can't crack the Idaho murder case, which is clear, now threaten internet sleuths with criminal charges for engaging in harassment fueled by misinformation. Now, I want you to understand what this means. And we'll listen to his comments, we'll listen to all this. But basically, this is his way of saying, stop investigating. And I'm going to tell you why the cops do this. It's because these cops, and like I said, I'm not anti-cop, they're failures with these cases. Let's just look back for just a second, okay? Let's look at the Brian Laundrie case. Did they break the case? No, it was YouTubers, remember? It was YouTubers who were driving by actually producing a YouTube video that caught the white van on the side of the road where he dumped the body. If it wasn't for them YouTubers, if it wasn't for them exact YouTubers, would they have been able to crack the case? I don't think so. Let's move on. Let's look at some of these other failures. Debbie Collier. Does any of you really believe that Debbie Collier set herself on fire. Now, remember, the police in that case said it was a direct and targeted and personal attack. Now, Debbie Collier, now they want, because they couldn't crack the case, even though we all knew it was Amanda Bearden, we all knew it was her due to the Venmo and all this. So the police now say that Debbie Collier prepped herself up, got all dressed up for the University of Georgia game, drove up 60 miles to a dollar store, bought items to set herself on fire. Meanwhile, she took her shirt off, and so she was literally, she took her shirt off and burnt herself all up. They want you to believe that. No other method of suicide, she just burnt herself all up. Even though they said there was only burn marks on her belly with her shirt off. So Debbie Collier, they want you to believe it's a suicide. Let's go to Quentin Simon. Quentin Simon, that were goofy as shit. They didn't arrest Leilani Simon to the very end, and now because they couldn't find really anything other than Quentin Simon's body, they now are charging Leilani Simon with murder, when the truth of this is they're going to lose the case because what she should be charged with isn't murder. She should be charged with desecration of a corpse, because ultimately, there's no evidence that Leilani Simon murdered anyone. And so what we're going to see is a case much like what was Casey Anthony all over again, where Leilani Simon is going to walk because they didn't get the proper evidence prior to charging her. We're going to cover that trial live on this channel, and we'll see. Then we go to the Delphi murders. 5 years later, these motherfuckers gave us 1 million different suspects. And then, despite all the creepiness with every suspect involved, we're talking about Ron Logan, we're talking about all these people. And then this year, they bring it to our attention that it's some dude that already put himself on the scene, but somehow they missed, they filed it wrong, right? So it's some dude that has absolutely no connection other than what they're calling a shell casing that was unspent that somehow fits his gun. Truth of this is that science isn't actually good science, and I can prove that, and I will prove that during the trial. Here's the thing. So they fucked that case up for 5 straight years. Then we move to the Idaho case, where they have changed messaging 1 million times. Number one, it was reported on the news a long time ago that the front door was left wide open. A neighbor reported that, right? Then they come out here and say, what did they say? They say they want your help finding the white car or finding out where Ethan and his girlfriend was. And then literally, that we find the information, and then they turn around, well, not me, they turn around and say, well, we don't want your help anymore. I'll show you all this shit. And now this police chief is threatening online sleuths. First of all, I live in America, bitch. I have a First Amendment. I can theorize, I can say whatever the fuck I want, as long as I'm not, as long as I'm not threatening people. So if I think Jack Showalter is guilty, I'm gonna say Jack Showalter is guilty. This is a commentary channel, a true crime commentary channel in which we engage in these types of theorizing and discussions. Okay? Now let's get to this. So the police chief right here, and I can't stand shit like this because I just want you to know, you threatening charges does not scare me, motherfucker. I'm not like the rest of these YouTubers. I've been to prison 3 times. You can't scare me with that shit, and I know that based on the legal situation, you can't charge people with shit. We live in a free country with First Amendment, including freedom of press. People can speculate. People have always speculated. I don't see you threatening News Nation. I don't see you threatening any of the mainstream media sources, so you can kiss my ass. Now let's go ahead and move on to this. And by the way, to some of you people that are saying, well, you can't spread misinformation. Bro, every fucking thing. When you're dealing with a commentary situation where in fact, let me go ahead and school some of you people. Misinformation, what is misinformation? Let's take a look. Information, false or inaccurate information. That's what this means. That's all this means. So you cannot lock up every single person in the world who is wrong about some shit. Now, what is disinformation? It's false information which is intended to mislead. Propaganda, shit like that. That's not even illegal. I hate to break it to you, but lying is not illegal. Misinformation is where you're wrong. Disinformation is where you intend to deceive, like that YouTuber we talked about yesterday. What was his name? Joseph Morris. He provides disinformation. He literally makes up stories to deceive you. Misinformation is just a motherfucker that got shit wrong. And when you're talking about a commentary case, let's go ahead and take a look. Speculation is heavy in these cases. The forming of a theory or conjecture without firm evidence. That's what speculation is. And in every situation, every true crime situation is speculation. We've been speculating in this country and on this planet for years and years. Why do you think the JFK theory exists? There's people that speculate about all kinds of shit. And that's okay. It's not illegal to do so. Let's go ahead. Theorizing. What is a theory? The forming of a theory or theories about something. And that's what most commentary channels do. There's speculation, there's news reporting, and there's theorizing. And I've even got comments from some of you, and I'm just going to tell you, if you don't like commentary channels, do not watch them, dummy. If you do not like speculation, theorizing, and any of that, don't watch channels that do this. If you want just straight official narrative facts, which is exactly what the police give you, then just watch the police blog, dummy. Like, you people are strange people. Clear differences between misinformation, disinformation, theorizing, and speculation. But now we live in this goofy country where just the simple act of theorizing or speculating means that you're giving misinformation. We heard this a lot with other political type situations, which I'm not going to discuss on this channel. You know what? Sometimes that speculation and theorizing comes out to be right. Right? Anyways, just saying. Let's go ahead and let's get to some of this shit. Let's go ahead and get to some of this shit. Moscow Police Chief James Fry condemned the high volume of speculations and rumors surrounding the murder of, and he even said it right there, speculations and rumors surrounding the murder of 4 Idaho students. The police have now threatened criminal charges against those who were harassed. By the way, it's not hard to find me, sir. You're more than welcome to file your charges. I'll gladly sue the fuck out of you and beat it in court. No problem. Because I have a First Amendment, you would lose immediately, you sack of shit. Now I'm pissed the fuck off. Fry instead called on the public to rely on police and official agencies for information regarding the grisly stabbings. Now, didn't you ask the public to give you information on the white car, on the door being open, on where Ethan and what's her name was? Aren't you the exact same people that asked us for information? And now you're saying, no, don't listen to their information. And I just want you to see this. The Moscow chief admits he did not know the front door to the house. I want you to see how inept this guy is. He did not know the front door to the house where the 4 university students were murdered was left open for hours. I'm not sure where that came from, he says. Well, I can show you. Clearly, this is a news report from right after it happened. This right here, which don't go to that Twitter because my Twitter's suspended. This is a news report from right after it happened. You still see the regular police cars there. Now, as you guys know, currently, there's usually just the unmarked security, like, police car there. But I want to show you this. Just real quick. Now, the volume's a little low.
Including talking to neighbors. I talked to some neighbors who live nearby here too, John, a few hours ago. They told me something that was pretty interesting. We've been talking about that backsliding door so much, but the front door, I'm told by a neighbor who walked by that morning who was coming back to his apartment, was wide open around 8:39 a.m.
He said the neighbor that walked by said the front door was wide open around 8:39 a.m. Now, that news report was in the very beginning of this entire fucking case. And the sheriff now says, I don't know where that report came from. It came from a neighbor. We're not supposed to take I want you to understand what this officer is literally trying to say to you. The same information and tips that he gets poured into him. In fact, let me go here. The same information and tips that gets poured into him, he don't want you to know. He don't want you to talk about. So even though he got that tip, even though he's claiming he didn't know it, the news was already reporting on it, by the way. That's called a tip. An eyewitness. The eyewitness was confirmed by the news, but the sheriff's like, no, don't listen to that. That's misinformation. No, it's not. It's not at all. But anyway, we're going to listen to this guy. However, it's the few details and contradictions from the police that has led to widespread theories. In fact, I got to get back to here. Sorry about that. Widespread theories spreading across the internet over the murders. The local police have been widely criticized for bungling the information, and that is exactly why he's doing this. The exact reason why this cop is doing this right here, right now, is because they've bungled the investigation. They have. And because other people are noticing that they bungled the information, they now want to quickly demonize everybody that's not bungling the information or people that are looking into the information. I'm going to show you guys a couple things when it comes to this. Here's what he said.
We'll start with the white car. How many tips are coming in and how are police using them?
We've had an amazing amount of tips come in on the white car. We appreciate everybody's help that has been sending in.
By the way, most tips are theories. Let's be honest. They ask for information regarding a white car, and everyone that's calling into that tip line right now is just reporting every motherfucker with a white car. Let's be perfectly honest about this. Every single person calling these cops and giving them information on the white car, they're just speculating. They'll say, oh, I see a white car. So, but let's continue.
Those tips, and investigators are vetting those, and they're following up on those, and the response has been very great. We appreciate all the help from across the nation and our community.
In some cases, we're hearing that people are borderline being harassed by speculation and rumors out there. What are police doing about that?
They're talking about the Jeremy dude. And yes, here's the thing. For all of you people that don't like online bullying, or as you call it, or speculation, I got something to tell you. Just don't log in. There's no such thing as cyberbullying. Let me explain to you why. Bullying, in its real sense, is some physical shit that you can't get out of. It's like being backed into a corner. Cyberbullying is some shit you can get out of. If you don't like the way someone's cyberbullying you on Twitter, you can block them. If you don't like the way someone's cyberbullying you on YouTube, you can block them. If you don't like the way someone's cyberbullying you on a forum, you can block them or just not go back to the forum. You can log out. Someone criticizing you or even saying something mean to you is not cyberbullying. And a lot of you guys need to get out of that fucking snowflake soft-ass way of thinking. But that's what this guy is saying. Just because some internet people, which I disagreed with these people, went after the neighbor Jeremy and verbally and speculated what he had to do, whether he was involved or not. That's not bullying him. That's not harassing him. I could sit here and make statements about Jack Showalter all day long. I think he did it. I think Jack Showalter did it. That's not illegal to say, it's not cyberbullying, and it's not harassment. Because he doesn't have to come on my goddamn channel and watch my fucking video. Now, let's go.
Well, what we want people to know is that individuals who are being harassed in this situation, people need to be careful because some of it's happening online, some of it's happening through phone calls and in person.
Yes, you people that are harassing these individuals in person, going to their house, calling them, yes, you are harassing them. But that's not all this guy means. He means people talking about it, people speculating, people, because that's what he means. And this is the same thing they did with other, let's just say, political leaders when they charged him, or not charged him, when they blamed him for certain things that happened in January of last year. They say that his words caused other people to do it. Unless you're ordering people to go do something, I can theorize all day long about Jack Showalter. I'm not ordering or convincing people to go harass him. If they do that, they're the retards. If they do that, they're the criminals. If they do that, they're the psychopaths, not me. Because I'm doing this thing called talking, which is completely legal. I just want to make this clear. If you people that are watching this video or whatever are committing criminal acts, they should lock you up. But I'm doing the criminal act because you, JB. No, fuck you. I didn't tell you to do shit. Well, you said Jack did it and I want to make him pay. Well, that's just because you're the dummy. There's no vigilante justice. Let's just call it what it is.
And people could be charged possibly in the future if it continues to.
Go fuck yourself. You ain't charged.
Element.
Yeah, if they commit a
What
crime.
can people do to help that situation?
I think number one, just call us anytime that there's any of that happening so that we can deal with that immediately.
And what about the information? What is being done to make sure the information that is out there is not causing speculation and rumors?
You know, there's been a lot of speculation and rumors, and what we want to say is we are the official source of information.
Yeah, the official source that keeps everything away from everybody. The parents are complaining because you're not giving them any shit and you don't even know what the fuck you're talking about. And that's clear with the open door shit. That's clear. This is how inept and weak your police department was. Y'all were right there in the field next to them at 3 a.m. and you guys still didn't catch them. You guys still didn't catch them as 4 people were being brutally murdered in the house you can see in the body cam footage. That's how fucking weak you are.
We want people to pay attention to what we're putting out there because that is accurate information, and anything that comes from other sources is either rumor or speculation, and we want to put an end to that as soon as possible.
Well, you can't. People have the freedom to fucking speak. And once again, you're the one that said you aren't sure how the fucking doors were left open. You're the one that said this. But yet, you said you don't know where that story came from or where that rumor came from. And I showed you specifically, it was on the news right after it happened because a neighbor said that they saw the door open. We don't need your confirmation for that. If a neighbor said they saw the door open, then a neighbor said they saw the door open. You weren't there. The neighbor lives there. Now, what's crazy about all this, right? And we'll get to a lot of this, right? Because this interview with the police chief is obviously big. A lot of people believe that they don't even know. I just want you to understand. A lot of people are believing that the Idaho police don't know how to handle this at all. I'm not a big News Nation guy, but let's take a listen.
Released a timeline very early on for Ethan Chapin and Xana Kernodle.
I want you to hear
Showed them at
this.
a frat party from 8 to 9 p.m. But then nothing.
Listen to this.
Until 1:45 a.m. when they returned home. So if you do the math, that is a gaping 4-hour and 45-minute hole in the timeline for where these two were. Last week, we pointed that out on this show.
Right.
And then this week, more than 3 weeks after the murders, the police began...
I got to give a shout out to News Nation for this video right here. You guys got to watch this because she flat out shows you everything I just said about that sheriff, about that deputy. The hypocrisy behind everything he's saying. Just pay attention and listen to this.
Asking the public for information about that gap in the timeline, saying, help us determine where this couple was in that 4 hours, 45 minutes. Do you have video? Did you see them? Do you have audio? Can you help us place this timeline?
Now watch this. I'm going to show you this. Now, before any of you smart mouth motherfuckers say, JB, you can't talk in the middle of the video. Yes, you can. You have to use. That's how fair use works. You have to provide commentary. I can't just play you their copyrighted content. That News Nation owns that. I have to add something to it and make it transformative. I get it. A lot of you people don't know. You're retarded. You don't really know about shit like that. But anyways, just before you start running your mouth, but here you go.
And then curiously, this happened today. The Idaho Statesman newspaper, again, they reported the following. Kernodle and Chapin were at a party at the Sigma Chi house for the full duration. From about 9 p.m. to 1:45 a.m., police have established.
Police have established. Pay attention to that. Police have established.
Established?
Huh?
No, they haven't. At least they sure aren't telling us what they might be telling the Idaho Statesman.
Keep watching.
They just asked us for help figuring out where they were for that 4 hours and 45 minutes. This just seems totally bizarre to us. Given that they haven't released anything official regarding this timeline, right? So what'd we do? Of course, we went back to the police. And we asked the police if something had changed. Were
Watch
they no
this.
longer in need of our assistance in helping to determine where Ethan and Xana were? Did the Statesman get something important that the rest of the media wasn't told? So now there's 2 messages out there?
2 official
Okay,
messages.
so here's what we got. We got an email, and we got it late today from what's being called the Moscow Communications Team. I hadn't heard that before, but that's new. And this is the quote that they gave us. Moving forward, we will not be doing reviews of the case process or answering any questions about previously released information. That's not helpful. And then in their...
So they're openly saying they're not going to reveal any information to you. Right? Are you hearing the same thing I'm hearing? But they want you to shut the fuck up. They want you to stop theorizing. They want you to stop making video blogs. They want you to stop criticizing them. Let's go. Sorry about that. Let me get back to it.
latest public recap that was issued today, something different. Police said the couple was, quote, believed to be at the frat party all night, but still wanted more information about, quote, interactions and contacts and direction and method of travel.
Ain't that odd?
Are you confused?
Yes.
Because I am. Joining me now is Lauren Matthias.
So that's one of the things I wanted to show you. But I also want to, there's a couple things, and we're going to talk about, I want to show you guys in closing before we get out of here, my shit on Joe. What's his name? Joseph Morris. I just want to show you some things, because I had some people defending him last night. But I also want you to see this. Remember the story? Remember last night how I talked to you guys, or yesterday I talked to you about the audio? I got to thank News Nation again, because now today, after, by the way, this is after my video, not tooting my own horn. I want you to see what they reported today. It does involve the Facebook message. Watch this.
The Idaho Statesman newspaper spoke to two people, each who live in the apartment building right next to the house where the students were killed. And both said that the street was unusually quiet that night, especially for a Saturday night on a block often teeming with parties and college kids.
Yes.
One neighbor said that she normally sleeps with earplugs, but that night said she didn't need to.
Completely quiet.
And she also said when police came to her door the next day, she simply told them she hadn't heard anything that had alarmed her during the night. Another neighbor described the quiet as bizarre. He also told the newspaper he thinks he may have heard a scream as he was dozing off about 4 a.m.
Watch this.
And that is the same time police say the murders likely occurred. The neighbor said he dismissed that scream as a party sound and said he didn't think anything of it, even when investigators knocked on his door the next day. He also says he told police about a black luxury SUV that he hadn't seen in the neighborhood before.
Now watch this, because all right, you heard this story. New York Post reported it, Fox News reported it. But remember, I added a little bit something extra to it. What did I add yesterday? His old Facebook post, right? Now watch what News Nation does. And I'm not saying they took it from me, because there's a lot of people out there theorizing and shit like that. I don't want credit for nothing like that. But I believe I was one of the first people to report this Facebook post. But here we go.
He said it was only parked a few spaces away from the front of the crime scene. But late today, police told this program exclusively, and I quote, "We have not heard anything about an SUV. However, if there is something we need the public's assistance with, we'll release it like we did for the Hyundai."
There you go.
That neighbor wrote about the crime on Facebook about 12 hours after police found the bodies. And
bam!
Very curiously, he contradicted himself. Let me tell you what he wrote, presumably when his memory was still very fresh.
By the way, for you people that said I photoshopped and made up the Facebook, now what? Now what? There you go.
Just 12 hours after the murders. Quote, 4 killed in a stabbing across the street. No screams. No evidence. No trace. It is unclear why he is now telling the Idaho Statesman newspaper reporter that he did hear a scream, right when he was going to sleep at 4 a.m., and that he didn't even mention that to the police.
Exactly.
Perhaps now the police will re-interview him about what he says he heard and what he says he saw. And then there is this story of what another neighbor saw. Reports that that neighbor told the police that she saw the front door of the kid's home wide open about 8:30 a.m. on the morning of the murders. And if that detail was known to the police as well, it sure didn't seem to make its way to this guy, the chief of the police, James Fry, because when asked about it yesterday by the Daily Mail newspaper, Chief Fry said this was news to him. He said this, and I quote the paper, "I'm not even sure where that came from, to be quite honest. I'm confused. I don't know about you. But I want to bring in Caitlin Becker because she is a senior reporter for thedailymail.com, and that's the newspaper that got that interview."
All right. So as you can clearly see, right, I wanted to show you some of that, particularly in regards to the scream, which we reported on yesterday, about the dude who wrote on Facebook that it was quiet and then it was scream. And where I originally got the scream video from was this fraudulent YouTuber by the name of Joseph Morris. And I've been trying to tell you guys, but last night in my comments, there was a few of you, now most of you agreed with me, but there was a few people from Joseph Morris that came over here and was like, hey, he did really good coverage with the Gabby Petito case. Well, let's take a look at some of the titles from that said coverage. Brian Laundrie's house for sale with bunker? Well, no, the house wasn't for sale. And there was no bunker. Brian Laundrie cause of death revealed as a suicide, gunshot wound to the head, that's true. Brian Laundrie's parents under investigation. Now, this is a year ago, and this was untrue. They've never been under investigation, ever. And in fact, the only thing that happened to Brian Laundrie's parents was a civil suit, which they actually lost $3 million on. Brian Laundrie sighting, hand in garden bed, drone footage. Look at this cocksucker. Do you understand? These are the type of headlines you get from this clown. You guys said that he gave great footage. Brian Laundrie sighted in North Carolina. There was rumors of that. Gabby Petito's grandma says they were supposed to meet in Portland. Okay, that's all normal shit. Brian Laundrie's parents hiding out as groceries delivered during FBI search. You mean, yeah, I just want you to understand, because a lot of these people harass Gabby Petito, or Brian Laundrie's parents. Gabby Petito's ashes found at crime scene where her body was discovered. Come on, man. You got to understand, man. Some of these things, Brian Laundrie left the family home without wallet. Okay, that's true. Brian Laundrie's parents shadowed by undercover FBI agents as they meet their attorney. Brian Laundrie found possible sighting in Florida Reserve by drone. This was before he was actually found. Second woman comes forward saying that she picked up Brian Laundrie hitchhiking. That came out to be not true. Brian Laundrie's sighting in Green Cove Spring, Florida, and Mexico. Brian Laundrie was spotted in Mexico. Brian Laundrie just made an update to his Facebook. That was never true at all. That was never true at all. Brian Laundrie sighting in Toronto, Canada by flight attendant. I'm just showing you. Brian Laundrie shares cryptic messages on Pinterest after Gabby disappearance. It's not true. That's not true at all. None of that shit was. Brian Laundrie sighting found on Baker, Florida trail cam footage. That was never true either. Suspicious stones at the crime scene. I'm just saying. That's all I'm saying to you, is that majority of his things. And I'm just going to be perfectly honest too. And I can go on and on. But never trust a motherfucker. You see these thumbnails? Never trust a YouTuber that's like, oh, in his thumbnails. Because you understand. Let me explain this to you. You understand when a YouTuber is posing like that? I want you to just think of how retarded you have to be to sit right here sit right here and stare at this camera and get the shot right and go, come on, man. Right off the jump, that should tell you they're retarded at the very least. He's like, come on, man. Come on. Guys, let me know in the comment section what you think about this, man. I think the police have a lot of fucking nerve to sit here and tell us this shit, and I accept their challenge. I accept their threat, because let me tell you, you police, you fucked up in the Brian Laundrie case. You fucked up in the Debbie Collier case. You fucked up in the Quentin Simon case. You for damn sure fucked up in the Delphi case, and now you have what I believe to be an innocent man, Richard Allen. And we'll talk about that more later, on trial. Which, fine, I'm innocent till proven guilty, as he should be, and I think we should go through the trial. And then in this Idaho 4 murder case, in a town of fucking 3,000 people, or whatever it was, you're fucking up here. And then you have the nerve to question us, criticize us. Guys, let me know in the comment section what you think. We will be live tonight. I don't know if we're just going to do a conversation, a question and answer, something like that. Or if there's more news, maybe we'll just go over. I don't know what we're going to do tonight. But it'll be my first live stream with you guys that are new to the channel. Maybe we'll just have have a few conversations and a drink. I know that's going to trigger some of them, right? You can't drink, that's unprofessional. Kiss my ass. Anyways, we'll do something tonight. If you guys like what I do here and you want to support the channel, by all means, hit the links down below. Join the Gun Squad today. To all my original Gun Squad, shout out to y'all. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for following me as we're making the transition over to this true crime thing. I'm still going to do politics over there, still going to do my live streams over there, still going to do my gaming channel, still going to do all that. I'm just been busy building this thing, and as you can see, it's clearly growing. So I love you guys. I'll see you next time. Peace out. I'm JB Gunner. This has been Crime Time with JB Gunner. Let me know what you think.